Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new series. We have a fantastic, superstar with us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Introducing Abdirashid Kassim. He is a junior
Doctor.
Yes.
Dr. Abdirashid Kassim.
Dr. Abdirashid
Get it
Kassim.
right. It took a long time to get there.
It took a long
Get it
time.
right. Thank you very much.
We've got to put the DR in front of him.
That's what's up.
He's a junior doctor working in the UK. MashaAllah, he's graduated about a year ago, like the rest of us, and he's been employed since then. And on our right, obviously, we have
The usual wasteman.
the regulars, you know what I mean? But still, for today's episode, we have to put the DR for everyone here. It's Dr. Abdifatah Ali here.
Okay.
Who also graduated last year as well, working as a junior doctor in the UK, and myself, Dr. Jibril Ibrahim, and I'm in the same boat as the lads, and we've been working here for about a year now. And essentially, we've gathered here today, and we brought this extra superstar, looking fresh as usual.
Thank you very much.
Me and Abdirashid, we go way back. We've actually graduated from the same medical school in a country called Moldova in Eastern Europe. So, and we've gone through the tough times, the good times, the tears, the sweat, the blood, all of that. And today we're just here to talk about our experiences and how we feel about when we graduated. So, yeah, Abdi.
Can you believe that it's been a year now since we graduated?
Time flies, man. If I'm honest, bro, time flies. I mean, I remember when I started university, and then now it's been a year working as a doctor in the UK. It's just time's going really, really fast.
You know how I know. You know, you get them Snapchat memories,
Memories.
innit? And I had some videos of myself and some friends were just there studying for final exams and stuff. I thought, yo, this is just then, and that was like a year and a bit ago, and it just feels like Abdirashid said, time actually does fly.
You know, I saw like a quote the other day on Insta, and it said, don't forget, because we always look forward, right, to the next goal, next thing we want to do. But he said, don't forget you're living the dua you prayed for years ago. Do you know what I mean? So that got me thinking,
That's
you know,
true.
like, because we always think about the next thing we want to do, the next project, the next like goal we have. So like looking back, how did it feel graduating like a year ago today? Or, well, it's not today, but a year ago. How did it feel, like your emotions? What do you think?
I mean, going back a year, we were still in the pandemic. It was the height of the pandemic. So obviously, I can't relate to those that graduated pre-COVID-19. So we didn't have all those things that, you know, people had, you know, the normal culture of graduation.
Yeah.
So that was not in existence for us, simply because of all the measures and stuff in place by the government.
Yeah.
But I think when I did realize that it was all done and I picked up my diploma, I was quite surprised with myself as how I reacted to it.
Yeah.
I thought, since first year studying medicine, I always thought that day, you know, when I get my diploma, it's going to be such a big day. I'm going to be emotional, and then I'm going to be like, yeah, you did it. It took a while to get there, but you finally did it.
Yeah.
And then I went there to collect my papers as if I went to the Royal Mail to collect a letter that was sent to me. You know,
It's mad.
There was no like emotions attached to it. I think the emotions of it hit me later. It wasn't there and then.
It wasn't so real. Yeah, it wasn't. When the first moment I felt like I accomplished something, because obviously it was a weird transition because of regular studies, and then the pandemic hit, and then the hospitals were shut down, and then exams were all online and stuff, and then it felt like the attachment to a university institution wasn't there. So we did our final exams, alhamdulillah, passed them. And then when I had the diploma itself in my hands, like Abdirashid said, it was like a piece of paper. But when I felt personally that, you know, I've accomplished something, was I came home and I showed my mother. I said to Hoya, Hoya, here's my diploma. You know what I mean? Here you go. And then and I've never seen my mother cry. You know, I know she's a very tough woman, mashallah. I've never seen her cry.
Mashallah.
But she, you know, she stood there and she said, you know what? And we're not exactly a touchy-feely family either, but she hugged me, and you know, and I could see like her eyes welling up, and she was like, "What?" And she said, in Somalia, "What social like you've worked for this, you know." And also I felt like she worked for this as well, of course, and supporting me and everything. And that's when I felt truly, oh, you know what, like seeing her face then, it was.
That's when it hit you, like.
That's when it hit me like, yo, man, I'm the guy. You get me? Like, you're like, yo, I want to make my parents proud, and now I've done that type of thing. So that little box in my head, I didn't know it was there, but I just, ding,
Yeah. No, it is interesting how everyone reacts differently. I think, obviously, for me, I studied in Romania. Also a COVID like graduation. Second part of the semester, I think we were studying online as well. But we went in for our graduation. So we had an actual graduation, but there was no relatives there. Do you know what I mean? It was just our class, right? So we went through the whole gown, getting, there was a ceremony, okay? And then, it got recorded for our families to see, so it was streaming. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt emotional. I don't know what it was. Maybe the fact that we actually had a ceremony, going up to the stage, getting it, like your lecturer's giving a speech, everyone happy, and it just hits you that, wow, like all that struggle you went through is paying off. Do you know what I mean? It was just, I don't know, man. It was emotional. I'm not even that emotional type. But trust me, I felt,
he's not.
Yeah, like, wallahi, I remember I was shedding tears and I was thinking, yo, you actually did it, man. But I think it wasn't during the graduation. I think, like Abdirashid said, like, after we had the ceremony, I went home and I was thinking, wow, you did something. You know what I mean? Like, you've been working for this since you was like a young boy. Do you know what I mean? But that's graduation, you know what I mean? Like during that graduation period, how did it feel for you guys? Once you've graduated, you're back in the UK, it subsided. Like, okay, you've graduated, it's been a month and a half, 2 months, whatever. How do you feel after that?
I mean, I think for me, myself, I felt lost.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah.
Because prior to obviously graduating, once you finish your semester and you go for your summer break, you're still a medical student, what's coming. Like you can expect, like the expectations, what's going to happen, by the time September comes around, it's back to uni, back to, reality and stuff like that. So
you had a system.
Yeah, you had a system that you was following. But when you graduate and there is no university after the summer holidays, it's a bit of a shock to the system because it's what you've been used to for 6 to 7 years.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was a bit confusing for me. But alhamdulillah, I did the right thing. I went away on a holiday.
Wow.
Went back to Africa. Was chilling with my wife and kids. So it was good. Alhamdulillah, and came back.
You did it the right way.
Yeah. I thought I'd make use of it because I knew, I probably won't get holiday once I come back to UK and start working. So I thought, let me just make the most of it now, and then
once you graduate, you realize how institutionalized we are, because like Abdirashid said, as soon as you finish, your life was planned. You know what I mean? Like semester by semester, your timetable comes out. You're thinking, okay, I know what I'm doing next semester. I know what I'm doing the semester after. The minute they tell you, all right, you're in the big leagues now, real world. Doesn't matter, when you finish. As soon as you finish, you're so lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And also for me, I think once I graduated and it'd been a couple of months, I felt like, I don't know, I had this emotion of, is this it?
Yeah.
I've graduated, but I'm not happy, if you know what I mean. It's not one of them, wow, this is I'm over the moon type of thing. 2 months later, it's okay, I've done it now. What's the next thing?
What's next?
Yeah.
What's next? And I think that's I don't know how to explain it, man. The initial happiness or the joy, whatever, you've done what you needed to do, but now it's onto business. You know, what's next? We need to get a job. We need to apply. We need to go. How does it work? How does being a junior doctor work? What's the training system? What system? What like you're thinking about all these things that
We had so many unanswered.
questions, and you think so. Okay, applying for jobs and working and where you're gonna be, and all these things started encroaching into your mind, and obviously people around us all going to start asking questions. Oh, you finished now? Oh, you finished? Oh, actually. One of the main things that surprised me as well was like people, whenever I used to come back to the country, people would just ask me, "Oh, how's it going?" It's going fine. What year are you in? I'm in 4th year, 5th year, etc. And then people would just become used to me being in school for so long that when they ask me, "What year are you in now?" I'm like, "I'm finished," and then they're so shocked, like,
What?
"I'm finished? I'm finished." I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Whoa, okay." That was quick. I'm like, "Nah, brother, 6 years, you know." but it's that I think people just, you know, life is fleeting, so you don't notice it. But it's just essentially then you're always thinking about the next step.
Next thing, yeah.
That's the thing about goals, because as soon as you reach it, I don't know, as human beings, we think about the next thing straight after.
And yeah, like there's I think, you know, the older you get, the more you realize, like, happiness is it's like an inner thing. You know what I mean? It's internal, because every time if you attach your happiness to a goal, once you reach that goal, you realize you're still not happy. Do you know what I mean?
For sure, definitely.
So
I mean, also, you know, to add to that, there's also the aspect of, whilst we're in medical school, we're safe in the confinement of being a medical student. So all our responsibility is to go through the books, study the knowledge, understand the theory behind different illnesses and the ways in which those illnesses are treated,
and pass the exams.
And pass the exams, of course. Yeah, it changes once you graduate. It becomes a case of, well, for me personally, it became a case of, right, I've studied it now. Now I actually have to apply it to real life situations, because this is not like a degree in which, you know, you're working with computers or you're working with, you know, engineering or buildings and things like that. You're dealing with something very intricate. It's human life, you know, and of course Allah Azza wa Jal is the controller of the human life, and whatever is written for someone is going to happen. But the responsibility of it it dawned on me.
you can't just throw the notes away, basically.
Exactly. So I know now that, you know, what I studied for that exam, at that time it was just merely just to pass the exam, and that was it. That was my motive for it. Now it's more a case of, I actually need to know that, because if I face that tomorrow when I'm working, I need to know what I'm doing, because now I'm dealing with someone's, you know, life essentially, and I need to be able to make the right decisions for them, which is obviously, you know, it's not nice. It's not a nice feeling to have, man.
It's pressure.
It's pressure, man.
Big
Proper
boy pressure, man. Even just seeing
mad pressure, yeah.
Even just seeing like an X-ray of someone's chest, and you see someone's sign, and in medical school you can be like, oh, this is what you call, for example, pleural effusion, just some fluid in the lungs, and you can easily point it out on a chest X-ray, and you feel it, and you're like, okay, that's fine. But a patient comes to you, and you do the chest X-ray, and you see the same sign, and you're like, oh, that's exactly what I would have said in medical school, but I'm like, oh, I'm not sure, because if I'm wrong, then I'm doing the wrong treatment. You get it?
Start second guessing yourself.
Big boy second guessing. Almost everything you've ever learned, you're second guessing. You think to yourself, okay, you know what? But that was an initial hurdle, and then later on, it became a bit better. Yeah.
No, I was excited, man. Was you excited? Like, I meant like excited in, like, you know, the sense of like, yeah, man, I've done it, man. Like, yeah, like, yeah, man. Give me 2 months, 3 months. Yeah. Let this holiday finish. Then man's on it. You get me? Like, I'm there now. You know what I mean?
I was excited. The fact that, you know, okay, I've always enjoyed the anatomy of a human body, like working in hospitals, all that stuff. So the fact that, okay, I've been watching medical shows all my life, and then now I'm in a hospital. And the fact that, you know, years ago, before we started med school, we went to school here. Like, we didn't go to private school. We all went to state school. Do you know what I mean? And as we all know, we will get to that another time, but as we all know, most of the people you work with and you know, the class of doctors, the people who studied in state school are the minority. They're all from middle class, private schools. You know what I mean? So it's the elite, and you look at yourself and you think, wow, okay. When we were in school, and you said to your teacher, "I want to become a doctor," it was a joke to them. Do you know what I mean?
They give that look like, ooh, that's a bit of a sticky one.
Do you know what I mean?
Hold
They were like, be
yours.
realistic. Yeah, be realistic. I remember like that's when we had connections back in the days, and you go for your career advice. And I remember saying to her like, I want to become a doctor. She was like, it's very good to have ambitions, right? But you need to be realistic. And wallahi, sometimes when I'm walking around in the hospital, that still rings in my head, bro.
Yeah.
So imagine telling that to a 14, 15, 16-year-old, like, it shapes you.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
It does,
Whatever advice you give them, that's what shapes them. So imagine taking that on board, thinking, am I good enough? Do you know what I mean? Is it not for me? So for the teachers watching, if like your role is so important to encourage students, you know, like, and I feel like teachers are getting better at it now. Do you know what I mean? Like, kind of pushing them even deep down. If you don't believe, does he have it in him? But because you don't know what kind of impact you will have on that child.
Even if the odds are against them, just gas them up, man. Just try to encourage them, because you don't know what else can happen in the future, basically.
No, for sure, definitely, man. It's not. I agree with them to the extent that it's not an easy journey. You know, not everyone can actually complete a medical degree, and sufficiently pass your exams.
Do you need talent? Do you need effort? Or what is it? What's the skill that's missing? Like, okay, it's tough to go into medical school, but I don't think you need to be smart.
No, I agree with you. 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
You don't have
need
to be smart. No,
determined, passionate, hardworking. If you have them three, I feel like you can do any degree.
yeah,
Like, if your mind's on it, and you feel like, you know what, I'm gonna put my head down, I'm gonna put the effort in, I'm gonna work. That beats talent every day, I think, personally.
I agree with
But
you.
it's very hard for like a young kid, like, I don't know, 14, 15-year-old, to have that mindset and, throw away all their distractions or whatever, and, think about it in a very oriented way, that this is the path I'm going to take. Because, come on, man, 15, 16, you look at what your friends are doing, you look at what they're doing, you look at it, and it's just... So I think when you said earlier, like, people in private school, I think the environment plays a big role.
100%, yeah.
If everybody else is working hard, then you're going to buckle down as well. But if you're the only one that wants to do it, and all your boys are out here chilling, relaxing, you know what I mean, going, and you're saying, I'm going to do it, eventually they're going to pull you to their side. So environment plays a key role, man. But
yeah, 100%. And you are who you surround yourself with. Do you know what I mean? You are the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. And these things make sense. You know, in the lectures we used to get from our parents, like, I've got experience, I know what I'm talking about, listen to blah, blah. Like, I used to think, yeah, whatever, man. Like, but now when you listen back to what they were saying, the lessons they were telling, the wisdom, the older we get, different, like, advice they gave you fits into different parts of your life, and you've seen it yourself, that the older you get, late 20s or whatever, early 30s, you realize, wow, things start ticking off, like, that makes sense.
so, Abdirashid, like, so with all that being said, like, you graduated and you finished uni, did you want to, like, did you announce it? Did you, like, put it on social media? Did you, like, say, hey, I've made it? Did you, or do your friends know about it? Or, how did that happen?
I think for me, I think I did put a Facebook post.
Facebook.
I did put a Facebook post. I remember doing that. I remember coming home after I picked up my diploma, and then, like, my dad just told me that come to this building at this time. I needed to help me take some stuff and things like that. So I went there, and then it was like a surprise party for me. My whole extended family was there. They put out a cake, put my picture on the cake.
Nice.
With, stethoscope and everything, and then put, like, DR next to my name. That was gas, innit? Like, yeah.
Even as guys, even though we don't, that kind of stuff is not big for us, like parties or like celebration. We don't celebrate nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. So it's like a big thing, for me. Like, when I saw that, that's when it, like, proper dawned on me, like, like, family's proud of you. Of course, I know that the family's proud of me and stuff, but that was, like, to be expressed is a different thing. We Somalis, we don't come. Well, I think I speak for most Somali parents. They're not. they find it difficult to express certain things to their children.
To the children,
And
yeah.
we are the same.
Yeah,
like
100%, yeah.
I find sometimes, difficult expressing certain things
As a father.
as a father,
Right, yeah.
So it's just something that is passed on
Yeah,
generations, and but obviously when I saw that, I was happy, man. I was over the moon. Yeah, definitely, man.
On that note, I think we'll get into our cycle of how we found a job, the reality, expectation versus reality, all that stuff. But this is going to be a series of several episodes. Hopefully you do enjoy it. If you do, please do share, like, subscribe. If you know anyone who's studying medicine, or if anyone wants to get into medicine, share this with them. Maybe they can take like the smallest thing away from these videos and this series we're doing, inshallah. And on that note, see you in the next episode.
And if you guys have any other things you want to discuss, or if you have any ideas or anything that you want us to talk about, please put in the comments, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.